We just been on our annual dark club outing down to Yarmouth. Go down there every year. I got on the bus. That's an old bus. I think I use a chicken's house during the week. I sit next to Marge. She's our dark team score. Everybody score with her. They call her Marge because she spread her legs easy. We got going along, going up the hill and the bus stopped. So we better get out and push it up. She said, what about the bus? She said, I'll tell Mother. I said, she ain't coming with us. I said, would you shout for help? She said, not unless you really need her. We got down to Yarmouth, went in the pubs along the docks there, oil rig workers and seamen, and this big bloke, about 6'6", come over to our table. He knocked all our drinks on the floor, knocked me off my chair. I scrapped up and said, did you do it on purpose? Or did you do it as a joke? He said, I done that on purpose. I said, that's good because I don't like jokes like that. We got coming home up the Acle straight having a sing-song. Somebody shouted out, stop the coach, find a pea field. And we all piled out. Men in one field and women in the other amongst the stinging apples. And we stood there in a line in the moonlight, and I looked up and down, and that reminded me of Bernard Matthews' turkey sausages. So big and me. Big John, he stood next to me. He's only 5'2", but I know why they call him Big John. John, I say, I wish I could hold mine like that. He said, what do you mean? I said, with 4 fingers. He said, you are, aren't you? I said, yes, but I'm hissing on 3. We couldn't find Marge anywhere. We hunted high and low. We found her in the end in a meadow, stretched out underneath a cow, looking up. She says, steady on, chaps, wonder time. I brought my grandfather with me tonight. He's about here somewhere. He come my poor home. Well, I was poor in them days, wasn't I? His poor old mother, she couldn't afford to buy him any clothes till he was 5. And then she bought him a hat, so he could look out the window. Couldn't even afford a tin of Andrew's liver salts. She used to sit him on their little pots and read him ghost stories. Had a hole in the kitchen wall. They used to poke the bread through and dip it in next door's grave. He said to his mother one day, where did we get that little baby brother from? She said, we found him in the cabbage patch. He come indoors next day, soaking wet, mud all over his boots. She said, well, you been looking for another little baby brother? No, he said, I put that other one back. His father said, what do you want for your birthday? He said, I want a torch. He said, what do you want a torch for? He said, I want a torch to go courting with. He said, you don't need a torch to go courting. He said, I do. Look what you finished up with. His mother was a very bandy woman. Very bandy indeed. When she walked past you, she'd go both sides. She used to iron her knickers on a boomerang. Grandfather and grandmother, they sat there, winter evenings, 2 people with just one thought. Who's going to get the coolie? They're poor, but they don't starve. Meat puddings as big as footballs. You don't know whether to eat them or kick them. And when you eat them, you wish you'd kick them. She was done ironing them. Now, he said, I don't know why you bound the iron up there, bra. You got nothing to put in it. She said, I just ironed your trousers. to bed. He said, I think I'll nibble your ear, like I used to when we was first married. She said, time you find teeth, I'll be asleep. He still drive. He got a little old mini car. He race about, he ain't safe, but that's no good at all on him. He's out last night, he stopped to have a wander along with this old farmer, leaned up against the gate. Passy, he said, 60-year-old hens have stopped lying. He said, how do you know? He said, just run over. He was driving in now, saw this young mother on the side of the road hitching a lift like I do. She got one of these hair slit scaps on right up the side. So he stopped and picked her up, got driving along. She said, do you think you could manage to drive with only one hand? He said, of course I can. She said, I want to wipe your nose then. Got into Norwich, got on a bus, and a woman got on beside us, 6 shopping bags, all full of stuff, sat right next to grandfather. After a little while, she started unzipping them, having a look in, see what she'd bought. After a little while, she turned to grandfather, she said, don't I know you, Irish woman? He said, you should do your unzip my trousers straight. We had to go into Norwich. Grandmother couldn't come with us, but she said, while you're up there, could you get us a pair of these, please? A good pair. So we went in the C&I. Said the girl behind the counter, could we have a pair of these, please? She said, what bus? Said, nothing, bus, they just wore out. They were an 18-hour bra, but they only last up till dinner time. No, she said, I mean, what size do you require? He says 6 and 7/8. She said, I'm afraid there's no such size. He said, I must be, I messed them with my hat. We went in a pet shop, and the bloke in there had got a snake on the counter about 3 foot long, and that kept it hissing. Like that. I do impressions as well. I said, is that poisonous? He said, of course it is. I said, what about if it bites somebody? He said, just get a friend, bite it, suck all the poison out. I said, what about if it gets somebody right up the backside? He said, you'll find out who your friends are. And when he's in this pet shop, he bought himself one of these little old bantam cockles, something he'd always wanted, and he was carrying it about Norwich all day, tucked up underneath his arm. In the evening, we wanted to go down the IBC, see some of them films I got on down there. We went in, they got a notice up, no pets allowed. So no more do, he got the old cockerel and shoved it down the top of his trousers. That was a bit warm in there, like it is in here tonight. And the old cockerel started stirring about. So no more do, he undone his trousers and old cockerel had to look round like that. Young couple next to us, she nudged into her boyfriend. He got his sticking eye. Said, take no notice. When you've seen one, you've seen the lot. Not like this one. That just ain't my Chris. We come out of there, and we stood looking up at Norwich Castle. It's all lit up at nights now if you go through Norwich. And this woman come up behind him. She said, do you want a bit? He said, what, they're going to knock it down? No, she said, you know what I mean? Took him up a side street, come back. She said, ain't you going to give us nothing? He give her 50 pence. She said, what do you call it? He said, heads, and took it back. She said, you come home with me and I'll show you a good time. That'll be £1 on the floor, £2 in the chair, or £4 on the bed. He said, here's £4. She said, what, on the bed? He said, no, 4 times on the floor. He said, if I'd have known you was a virgin, I'd have give you £5. She said, if I'd known you'd got £5, I'd have took my tights off. Because grandfather moved now. I just got that over there. I'm going to strip out now. Grandfather moved now, smart new semi-detached place like the old, putting up these here wimpy homes. Grandmother's so proud of that, she's out there every day, polishing the toilet seat up. When you go to the toilet now, you have to wear a seatbelt. She went out, bought one of these here long-handled toilet brushes, 95p out of Woolworths, in a little plastic holder with a floor transfer on the front. Stood it up the corner in the toilet. Grandfather said, I don't think much of that there new toilet brush. He said, I'd rather use the pair. Well, we'll have to be going in a minute. You want a bit more dancing before you go home, but just before I go, I'll just tell you about a poor farmer. Well, there's a few poor farmers about now. This one, he's down to his last 2 Volvos. He bought a brand new German combine harvester this year, and they give him a free holiday out in Germany, and he spent the night with this woman in Hamburg. Got up in the morning, going out the door. She said, what about the marks? He said, 10 out of 10. He's always thinking about saving a bit of money. And he's in bed with his missus one night. Big Bertha they call her, she's a big girl. Having a feel round. Good galley, so you aren't half big up at the top. If you give a couple of pints of milk a day, we could save a bit of money and get rid of that old Jersey cow. She said, yes, and if you've got another 2 inches, we can get rid of the tractor driver. Thank you very much indeed for being a wonderful